I want to dive into this whole TikTok thing. And if you're not really up to date on the whole TikTok thing, go check out Lawa86 bit about TikTok and what the China Show guys have been covering. They've been doing it for a long time. And I'm not just pointing you in that direction because I agree with them and they agree with me. But they've deep dived into it several times. Yeah, TikTok sponsored the party. Well, that's the thing. So let's look at, and the dial back from maggots is, in a lot of ways, one of the more shocking and surprising and funny kind of things, because there's a bunch of what would be maggot congresspeople and maggot senators who are not walking it back, who are pissed about this. But Trump is too jello-headed to know what's going on, or is just so in need of attention that he just has to let it, like he just loves the attention so much, it's okay with him. They can do whatever they want to America as long as he seems to get good ratings on there, right? That's the idea. And Carl Higbee Sellers, Brandon, at Newscrack, let's see if we can spread this out. Open theater mode. There we go. Is all about Trump just, being magic. Just like this is 5D chess. On Friday, Carl talked about the Supreme Court upholding the TikTok ban, lays out a strategic plan for Trump administration and more. So this is his idea of what the strategic plan should be. I'm very excited.
The TikTok thing may be out. For now, the Supreme Court upholding
the TikTok thing.
The ban that Congress passed and that Biden signed into law. The app is supposed to go offline in potentially the next 48 hours.
It did. Ooh, I don't know. Whoa.
The TikTok ban is upheld by the Supreme Court.
Some groups urging President Joe Biden and Donald Trump to step in.
Everything's going to be okay. Yeah. Debbie does. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's going to be better than okay. You'll see. Because this dude promised everybody everything. And again, our job has to be to shove the presidency down his throat. Make him live up to everything he said. A health care plan that's big and beautiful for every American. It covers pre-existing conditions. Ending murder in America. Yeah. It's not like, seriously.
In a little bit more than 34 hours, TikTok will officially be...
Also, Newsmax, fuck you. You don't get to shit on CNN all the time and use it as not only the main source for your broadcast, but effectively just borrow their reporting. Carl Hickbiter, whatever your name is, stop living like a fucking tick on the dog that is CNN, you lazy piece of shit. Newsmax does this all the time.
Banned here in the U.S., and the Supreme Court is not going to stop it, as TikTok had hoped.
The Supreme Court upholds the law banning TikTok in America starting on Sunday.
What does Carl do during this when they play these videos? Is he just vaping like Sean Hannity or fapping like Jeffrey Toobin?
The outgoing White House will not enforce it.
All right, so let me just say, I don't really care either way. I realize the First Amendment implications here, but also the fact that...
Oh, do you? Yeah? You realize the First Amendment implications here? What are the First Amendment implications of a foreign-owned social media site that has a hidden algorithm that is designed by that foreign adversary's military? What's the free speech aspect of it? Because I got news for you. Anything you say on TikTok, you can say on fucking Instagram Reels or on YouTube Shorts or on fucking Snapchat. Where's the free speech aspect of this, fuckwad? What is it? I know he doesn't have one, but it annoys me when we're like, look, I'm aware of the arguments. Oh, do you? Well, then spell them out.
This is not an American company that doesn't enjoy the same protections. We'll get to that. But there's a very important aspect about this that matters to everybody, and it could dictate the way the youth of this nation votes for the next 30 years.
Dun, dun, dun!
You have an entire generation of people where their primary source of information and entertainment is this app. There's 170 million American-based accounts, including people and businesses. 42% of them
Yeah, no, not U.S. Hold on. This I need to see. Hold on. Let's see. TikTok. Active U.S. users. Because there's double up accounts everywhere. Yeah, this is Backlinko. This is the site he's charting. Something super special happened in 2016. How many people use TikTok? According to my marketer, TikTok has 1 billion monthly active users worldwide. Monthly active users worldwide was December 2020 up to 1 billion in 2024. How many Americans? 170 million monthly active users in the U.S. increased from 150. According to new Pew Research poll, 33% of U.S. adults report ever using TikTok. That doesn't mean they still use it. Good Lord. TikTok monthly active users by region. The Asia Pacific, Middle East, Africa, Latin America, North America is way low. Western Europe, Central and Eastern Europe because of their tracking rules. Yeah, because it's mostly like Southeast Asia that they're trying to manipulate. Downloads dropped. Look at that. Look at that. 2023, quarter 2, 2023, quarter 3, quarter 4. Brought in 16 billion in U.S. revenue in 2023. That's kind of pitiful for having that many users. And it made it okay. Rose to 5th most used. Okay, it's the 5th most. So if it pulls in 16 billion and it's the 5th most used, and Facebook and Instagram are the same company, Google is owned, or YouTube's owned by Google. WhatsApp is, I wouldn't call it a social media app. It's more like a sketchy connection app. Snapchat's way down here. There's Douyin. Douyin and WeChat and TikTok are basically the same thing. Facebook Messenger also is a secondary version of WhatsApp because didn't they? Yeah, cause they own Facebook. Meta owns WhatsApp now too. And the monthly active users, a lot of overlap in that. Average time they spent 95 minutes a day globally. X is Instagram 62, X 30 minutes, Snapchat 19 minutes. You can see where it's designed to suck you in. U.S. by age, 18 to 24. 25 to 34 is a bigger group than 18 to 24. I don't know if they track the under 18. 55% are female. TikTok accounts, these are the biggest ones. Cabane Lame, Charlie D'Amelio, Mr. Beast, 96.7. But he's got, I mean, it's the same as fucking YouTube and shit. That's a wrap for my round on TikTok statistics. Okay, so this is just their overall statistic page. That's what he was pulling from.
Are 18 to 24-year-olds. And that is the bulk of the influencer category, as well as known as the content creators. And a lot of them make a living off this site.
Dun, dun, dun.
7 million people in the U.S. are making their sole income off this. Forget Chinese influence for just a minute here.
No.
Because none of those people who are making money care. What those people care about, and the people that follow them, which is...
Yeah, they do.
This amounts to about 40% of the 170 million people, is will the federal government take away their stuff with this new ban? That's all they care about.
Yeah, they don't care about whether or not it's being manipulated or they're a tool for the Chinese government to undermine mental health in the United States and divide our politics or whatever, and neither does Carl Higbee's sellout.
Almost none of those people care about the national security implications or the data that China is farming from users. They just don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't have joined the app anyway. A Democrat administration banned this, okay? That happened. They passed this under law. Joe Biden signed it, and that is what these people know. And now some of those liberals, many of which openly and ardently hate Trump, are screaming for Trump to keep this app online. Oh, help Donald Trump. Really?
Yeah? Which ones? Who?
Really funny how that works out. Now, the provisions of the law allow the president to suspend the shutdown for 90 days if there's a legitimate buyer. And as of now, Kevin O'Leary, you remember the Shark Tank guy, he's rumored to be offering $20 billion to buy it off ByteDance, the Chinese parent company. And he'd make...
With the algorithm. And they're not going to sell it with the algorithm.
Get an American company to comply with the new law. But Here's what I think is really going on. Look, nobody's coming up to buy this app for $20 billion, I don't think. I think this is a political move by Trump and his allies, and it's absolutely genius. Look.
Sorry, they're bullshitting is what he wants you to know. But it's like fifth dimensional chess bullshit.
Trump gets to swoop in and save TikTok and becomes the hero of half the people in this country who have accounts.
What about the other half? So the other half hate him for keeping it or something?
You know how many single-issue voters there are on this?
I don't know how many after the 90 days when there's no fucking, there's no buyer for it. Who's going to be voting based on this in 2026? Are you fucking stupid? Who cares? He just won. He can't run again.
At least 7 million.
Yes, there are at least 7 million people who don't give a fuck about the tracking the tracking algorithm, the mental manipulation, the fraud, they don't care about that. And those people are the kind of voters that, of course, flock to Donald Trump. The argument that Carl Higbee dipshit here is making is that that TikTok voters care so little about their country that they're a guaranteed lock as Trump voters.
Because they make money off of it. Not to mention the other 6 to 7 million businesses.
Dude, do you have any idea how many people make money selling illegal drugs in this country?
Businesses that also monetize. That's 14 million people.
So?
In a political game that has a margin considered huge after just a few million? I mean, what did Trump beat Kamala by? I mean, this is a game changer. Not to mention J.D. Vance, when...
Wait a minute. Yeah, sorry. He thinks that this 90-day pause to get TikTok sold to somebody is a genius move by Trump to get votes for J.D. Vance in 4 fucking years? Dude, you have any idea how much social media and everything's going to change in fucking 4 years?
He runs for president in 4 years. He will get to remind the youth that it was Republicans.
The youth. Yeah, the youth that are now pushing 30.
Who saved their precious app. This will change the electoral.
Their precious app. Fuck me, dude. He really just, he's doing everything. All right, I mean, it's kind of obvious. He's doing everything he can to not make it look like Trump is caving to the Chinese and throwing Xi Jinping a bone, which is exactly what he's fucking doing. This is Donald Trump attaching his mouth to Xi Jinping's asshole in their own two-banger version of Human Centipede. That's why. It's a suck-up to China. That's why. That's it. The dude who runs the company in the United States is going to be was on his dais today. Think of all the people that could have been on that podium with him that weren't. But the fucking the CEO who runs TikTok for the Chinese government was on stage with him. And can you see the tap dance that this asshole is having to do? It's going to be genius. He's going to be able to remind the youth in 4 years, the 18 to 24-year-olds.
Landscape of the 18 to 24-year-old voter group for the next 3 decades, folks.
Sorry, you think he's just won the 18 to 24-year-old demographic frozen in time for 3 decades because he's yammering on about a possible 90-day pause for a possible buy of TikTok. And that this is Jesus Christ. Can you imagine having to make this up in your empty fucking skull just to like quell the screaming at Newsmax about TikTok and about the fact that it's a giveaway to the Chinese government? Who the fuck thinks that in 30 years people are gonna give a rat fuck about TikTok?
There's almost zero chance a Democrat can win on a national level for the next 3 decades if the Trump administration plays the PR game properly here. And they usually do.
What the hell? Hang on. This asshole thinks, oh God, that there are going to be like 50-year-olds who go, well, he created Hoovervilles and collapsed the economy with that tariff bullshit. And of course, women were dying of septicemia trying to find a hospital after they had miscarriages and stuff. But he saved TikTok, goddammit.
And here's how I would advise Trump to master that art of the
Yeah, tell him.
deal. Okay, right now, the U.S. sells a little over $150 billion of goods to China, and China sells us about $550 billion worth of stuff every year. Now, Trump should just go to Xi Jinping and say, yo, dude, you're going to sell TikTok to someone in America for $1. I don't care how you make that decision. I don't care who you sell it to, but you're going to do it.
Yeah, buddy.
Otherwise, we're going to slap 100% tariff on all of your goods, which would destroy the Chinese economy immediately, more than...
Hey, asshole, the shit we buy from China is largely wholesale. The big, ask fucking Walmart. People, oh, God damn it. People in the Midwest and in the South don't buy Chinese goods from China. They buy it from Walmart. And if you slap a huge tariff on it, it's going to, Walmart's going to have to pay it and pass it on to people. People aren't going to just stop buying shit from China. Does this asshole think people actually go on Alibaba and buy stuff? God damn, dude. So stupid.
It already is. Then, I would tell Trump, tell him, I'm going to go to South Korea and tell them if they want to keep their THAAD missile defense system that the U.S. gave them, they're going to also not trade with you as well. Same with Japan and Germany and Australia and the U.K. And then I'm going to...
Over TikTok.
Look to Canada, who imports a ton of stuff from you guys, and remind Canada that America buys 97% of their oil, which is a huge part of their economy. And they're also going to stop...
Yeah, we buy... okay, first of all, no. 97% of their oil transits the United States. We don't buy 97% of it. And the vast majority of the reason we buy a large number is because of fucking proximity.
Stop trading with China, period, full stop. You combine all that economic loss, that would bankrupt China.
They're already bankrupt, stupid. If he figures, he scares them enough, they might worry that their economy is going down the shitter. Hey, asshole, it already is.
For $1 trillion. So I'd be willing to bet Xi Jinping would have the Chinese Communist Party cover the other $19,999,999,999 to ByteDance. Stop collecting our data, stop data mining our citizens, stop stealing our intellectual property, and be well. That's the art of the deal. Oh, but
asshole, there is no TikTok to sell without the algorithm. TikTok without the algorithm is every other short-form vertical site. It's fucking Vine. And if they show the algorithm, then everybody's going to know how it was designed to basically fuck with everybody. So they're not going to. They'll just shut it down. Because they don't give a shit about the Americans that are making a living off of it.
By the way, after Trump takes over the Panama Canal, just for good measure, he could just go walk right up to Xi Jinping and be, hey, dude, if you try to build a backdoor into this app to continue to mine our data, you can take your ships all the way around the tip of South America. Burn the extra $20 million in expense per trip.
Those are our ships, stupid. Wait a minute. Watch that graphic again. This is him telling you, this is Chinese goods having to skip the Panama Canal. Watch and enjoy.
Dude, if you try to build a
if you try to do this backdoor thing where all of your goods magically appear
in this app to continue to mine our data,
New
you can take your ships
you could take your stupid ships from New York and go all the way around South America to San Francisco.
The way around the tip of South America. Burn the extra $20 million.
as opposed to the ones that go through the Panama Canal.
Dollars in expense per trip. It'll work.
Honest to God, I'm dedicating this clip to everybody who thought that magically with Trump getting reelected, somehow maggots would get more effective and smarter. No, I actually think, I don't know, maybe they all flew on Trump Force One and he didn't properly pressurize the cabin and everybody's got like permanent brain damage from hypoxia.
Result? An American business will flourish. New custodian of that digital empire. China will stop collecting data. 40% of America won't have the government take something away from them, and Trump will be the hero.
Yeah, it's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
Like, I sure hope somebody at the White House is thinking like this. Like,
no, they're not. Nobody's as smart as you, Carl. I hope they know the genius. Because I was like thinking about this for like 10 minutes before the show started. And I was like, boom. And like, why? How come fucking Hegseth is getting a spot? I should be the secretary of TikTok.
I feel like a lot of people that run this country should probably be smarter than me. I generally think they are sometimes.
Sometimes. Me too, Carl. I think they're smarter than you sometimes. / all the time.
Not when Democrats are in charge. I'm just assuming somebody is thinking like this. Okay, it's like that scene. Have you seen that movie Armageddon? When
Yes, I have. I don't know that it. In terms of the parallels,
the asteroid's about to hit Earth, and they didn't have a backup plan, and like nobody was thinking stuff up.
Wait, they're gonna play a clip.
What's your contingency plan?
Contingency plan?
Your backup plan. You got to have some kind of backup plan, right?
No, we don't have a backup plan. This is it.
And this is the best that you could, that the government, the U.S. government can come up with? I mean, you're NASA, for crying out loud. You put a man on the moon. You're geniuses. You're the guys that think it up. I'm sure you got a team of men sitting around somewhere right now just thinking up and somebody backing them up.
Like, I sure hope that's not.
Fuck. Yeah, it's about resource and capability. They did think it up. This is the only way to do it. It's the only thing feasible. There's not a second. You can't, you know, we don't have an unlimited supply of these things. We can't fly them all up there. It's not, yeah, and it's a movie. That's the other thing. Also, in this circumstance, this asshole thinks he's the Bruce Willis character. And in reality, he's, if there was a character in Armageddon who was like sitting at home going, why don't they just nuke the hurricane? That would be Carl.
Not the case here, because you're about to tick off an entire generation. And a lot of these kids will not forget about this in 4
Yes, they will.
years. They will have lost their sole income. And they all.
Why can't they move over to something else? What are you talking about? There's like 9 different fucking sites that you can monetize. Why is it only the one that tracks all your data?
Also have hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions.
Again, shit didn't exist a couple of years ago. You lazy motherfucker. You're not being asked to switch from like steam engine to diesel and recalibrate all your engines. It's the same shit.
Also listen to them. Look, this comes down to one thing. Don't take people's stuff.
Right. China, don't take people's stuff. And then we won't have to pass a national law that stops your app from working because you take people's stuff. What?
I could care less about TikTok. I don't use it for any like reasonable fashion except to distribute this show. That's the only reason I'm on.
The only reason I use it is for business and for, and to basically look at all the titty girls. Wait a minute. Hold on. There we go.
On that app. I'd be perfectly fine in a world with no social media whatsoever. But
well, that's because you don't have any friends. and no one wants to actually talk to you.
Half the country would not be. Half the country views this as the government taking their stuff. It doesn't.
No, they don't. If half the government viewed it that way, why would more Republicans be on board than Democrats?
Doesn't matter why. And you can tell.
Yeah, it does matter why.
Tell those people till you're blue in the face about the threat from China or whatever else, which there is. They don't care.
You don't care. That's what you fuck them. Stop talking about other people. You don't care, asshole. You. Carl, your show is on there. Newsmax uses it. They're either making you say this or you are choosing to say it. But fuck you. Don't lay this at other people's feet, you lazy piece of shit. It's you. You don't care.
Case in point, how many people, we're talking millions of people, joined this new Chinese app called Red Note, like in the last week or so.
Who cares? Bot accounts. Why do I give a shit?
Millions of TikTok users in America downloaded this app and then hit agree to the terms and conditions that were written in Mandarin. They weren't even in English. That's how I know they can't. They don't read that stuff because nobody reads that stuff.
Jesus, dude. Just maybe those are transferred accounts that China helped set up that were bot accounts because they're carrying them over because they serve a purpose. And that one wasn't blocked, but they'll block another one. Whereas anybody else was like, oh, I'll just move. Like, what's the difference between moving that to Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts versus to that thing? What's the fucking difference? Or fan base or one of these others? Oh, because they're actually Chinese bot accounts.
But they just did it anyway because that dopamine addiction to these instant gratification and multitude of sensory perception apps is like a drug.
Right. And you're on there and you do it, you use it to promote your show. So you're a drug dealer. I don't know. You'll have to ask Trump what he wants to do with drug dealers.
This is why I don't let my kids use these things.
I don't let my kids use these things. They might see my show and then they'll never talk to me again.
This is like taking away our grandparents' generation cars. That's how they feel about it.
No, it isn't. And no, they don't. Because they don't have, because you can't download another fucking car.
Or taking away our parents' generation's landlines. It's like.
After they had cell phones.
Taking away I'm 40. Well, yeah, I'm 41. My generation's internet.
Your generation's internet? You mean the internet?
Once people have a taste for something, it doesn't matter if you're taking it away for their own good.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. How is this RFK Jr. making America healthy again shit supposed to work then? Look, people want high fructose corn syrup, motherfucker, and it's cheap. The companies want to put it in every drink. It's cheaper than cane sugar, and we don't have to buy that from fucking Cuba anymore. So fuck it. What are you gonna do to remove that? Yeah, Jesus Christ. Do you think this oxy? Fentanyl? What are you saying?
Or for national security, or even to save their own life. The people that take things from others always lose.
Sorry. So this is Donald Trump's genius plan to court voters, specifically a bloc that he will lock in for 3 decades that don't care about their own mental health, national security, the safety of the country, being tracked by a foreign government, and the fact that they are being, like, ropa-dopamined.
That's what Joe Biden just did.
It was a law. He signed a law passed by Congress, dummy.
If Trump can find a buyer or work this out, he needs to be very explicit, though, about the fact that he is trying. If he can't do it, I should say.
Yeah, you probably should say that.
Because this could define the next generation of voters and who they choose for their next president.
Wow. Wow. Now, let's just say, yeah, don't forget ketamine, right? Yeah, who are we to take ketamine away from Elon Musk? Holy shit.